Triple M Breakfast, Rosie, Wil, Daisy, joining us in the studio. Blues royalty, I would like to say.
AFL
Legend.
Yeah.
Anthony Koutoufides, thank you for joining us. How are you?
My pleasure. Very good. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. A little bit tough out there finding parking this morning, but I made it. It's taken quite a while to get here, but it's
if
worth
only
it.
somebody could run for the city council to do something about parking.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Well, that's one thing we can talk about, definitely.
We'll get to that, but we want to talk about the Blues first. Like, how much do you ride the Blues week to week these days?
A lot, because I always think that the time that I walked in the football club was, I've seen a couple of decades of success, and it was just a wonderful club to walk into. But when I walked in, there was premiership players everywhere, and the expectation was to win premierships, and that's the sort of culture that I walked into. But what occurred from 2003 onwards was the complete opposite of what I had in the first 12 seasons of the Carlton Football Club. And I've seen the other side of it, and guys like Daisy, who walked in later on, don't really understand the true power of Carlton until recent times, as they start to get better, and you see the influx of members and 100,000 members now all of a sudden. It's a wonderful club. So I just want to see them experience. So I do feel it, because I want them to experience what I experienced at the age of 22, winning that premiership. 90-odd thousand people, MCG, the greatest day of my life, and it's the truth. And nothing has come close to that feeling of winning a premiership.
You think that I might not know the wrath of the Carlton fans.
Yeah.
You're wrong. I understand just how passionate they all are for different reasons. They're passionate when you're going good. They're passionate when you're going bad. They're passionate when you're playing good. But most importantly, they're passionate when it isn't going great. Yes. But what have you made of the year and Sunday? Excited, nervous?
It sort of brings back the feeling of your old mob 2 years ago when we had that last game against Collingwood and we had to win. And we had that advantage at three-quarter time, thinking we're home here, we're going to be playing finals, and Collingwood get over the line, I think by 1 point. I've said it often. They're there. These games are there. If you really want to make finals footy, you just have to win them. Doesn't matter. But injuries or whatever, this is the circumstances, you've got to win. So it's a crucial game for them. Their job is to win this week, and what occurs after that is really out of their hand. But I'm just disappointed the fact that they're not sitting in the top four, which I think they're capable. But it's been one of those weird seasons, up and down. You don't know who. Anyone can win this final this year.
Now, you're very well known for the Souvlaki Hut. You're very well known for footy, but you are also becoming the face of Melbourne. Like, you are putting yourself out there to run the Melbourne City Council. That is a big undertaking.
It really is. When I always reflect back a little sometimes of migrant parents, born here in Melbourne and loved the place and always thought this was the greatest, not just the city, but the greatest. Melbourne was the greatest city in the world to me. I mean, we were privileged. It was sort of like a hidden gem that people overseas didn't understand how lucky we were to get out, freedom, and have fun like we did when we were young.
Where did you grow up?
Thomastown, Lola Thomastown. It's sort of like, anyway, the Bronx we call it down there. But it was fun. I mean, there was a lot of migrants. There was an influx of migrants to the outskirts of Melbourne. There was a lot of Australians, and the football clubs I played with, we blended so well together. I've still got great mates from those times, and it was just a great time to grow up. But I never imagined myself thinking, can I have an impact on the city of Melbourne? And that's what really it is now, looking at the city and what's happening and getting that opportunity. As you know, I'm not a politician, but what I will do is put the city first, the city of Melbourne, the people first, and try to go in and bat for them and try to do the very best that I can to really get Melbourne back to the way that it was, the most livable city in the world. And I explained this once, I'm probably talking a little bit too much, but like Carlton Football Club, decades of success, right? It's the culture, but you can lose that overnight. Maybe we've taken this city for granted too. It's the greatest city in the world, but it's not that now, not even close to that. And so hopefully if I can have some sort of impact, if I get that opportunity, I'll do my very best.
I did read that one of your campaigning points was to get people back in the offices 4 days a week. I'm certainly in the camp of less work, more time at home. Has that been an issue you've had any pushback? Which is why the AFL life suited me so well.
No, and that's fair enough too. Like, I understand that too. I can't force people to come back. We'll talk to the state government, see what we can do, and give them incentives. And of course, and I understand the feelings of people in that too. And so, we can't force them, but if we can't, we've got to get people back to the city, and that's the goal. And the other thing is, do we some of these office buildings there? They've got a lot of space in them. Do we, turn them into residencies? There's all these things that we're talking to, and we're going to fine-tune as we go along. We want to make an incentive to get the people back. We need it back vibrant again, and so we're going to look at all ways that we can. And I understand the uneasiness of people now that you're working from home, and they're single mums and all. I understand all of that. So we're going to try to do it in the best way that we possibly can.
A lot of them find it hard to get a park, I believe. That's the problem.
I know, we really, that is a major issue, seriously, in the city. And we've said free parking from 6:30 p.m. onwards now. We're bringing back the old school. Come in, have free parking. And not now it's like until 10:30 at night. Why? Like, let's get people back in. And so that's a big issue for us and really high up there. And I find it hard too to even go into the city. And I was there yesterday driving around. It's not even that busy anymore, but it still takes you forever to get out of there.
Because there is a fair bit of construction that
is going on
does
at the
make
moment.
it difficult.
And scooters. What about scooters? Because it's been a big issue on the
Scooter.
show. We have been talking about a scooter.
Scooter. We might call the scooter.
Yeah, the Kouta scooter.
Yeah, I look, in my opinion of them, look, they can work, right? I mean, I dislike the fact that when I see things dumped around, and I see a lot of that when it first started. It's like people aren't respecting the fact that we're giving these, these scooters out there for you to be able to get around and do the things that you need to do. We have to respect people too at the same time. I was brought up that way, respect, and you've got to be careful. There's elderly people around and things like that. So I'm actually going to talk to some guys reached out to me about the scooters. So I want to sit down and get a real good understanding of them because apparently they work quite well like overseas, but in an orderly manner where they actually put them back wherever they need to go and everything's really fine. So I'm looking at that closely. And, we'll see what occurs.
What about your outfit, though? My mum had a motto when I played cricket because I wasn't very good. If you can't be a cricketer, you may as well look like one. You look like you were ready made for the politics. You've got the sweater on
nice
with the collar coming
very
out.
stylish.
The hair's slicked back. You're looking as good as ever, brother.
Well, I won't turn to you, Daisy, maybe for fashion design. I won't get you to dress me up, maybe, but I do need a little bit of help with it.
No.
I've had to I've come out of the shorts and t-shirts and that comfortable life that I've really enjoyed to really go out there and fight for the people of Melbourne. But it's been so good for me to get myself out of the comfort zone. And I always say out of the comfort zones where growth happens. And so it's what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the love of the city. I'm going to talk to people
What's
and
been
try
the
to help
hardest
people.
bit so far, Kouta?
You get criticised by by people, and that's going to come, and everyone does. Anyone who puts themselves out there going to get criticised. You can't please everyone, but that's okay. I'll get myself stronger, more resilient, and just keep moving forward.
I feel like the city, it's almost two parts. Like there's the daytime part of the city, there's the nighttime part of the city. So daytime, nighttime premiership kind of thing. You think you've got your handle on both aspects of the city?
Yeah,
or do you need a nightmare like Wil Anderson?
Yeah, no, I'll get
I
Will
am
on
a
board. I'll get Will. I mean, it's not just the city too. We're talking Docklands and the surrounding areas, East Melbourne, West Melbourne. There's Carlton North, Parkville, North Melbourne, Flemington, Kensington. There's a lot of areas in it, and so it's not just there. And so we're in the belief that if we can really build up the city and get it vibrant again, then the other surrounding suburbs will start to thrive also. And Docklands is one major issue, and I'm going to talk to.
What are you going to do about Docklands? Because it has been a shocker since it started, and nobody has ever been able to really sort it out completely.
Yeah, I know we've got a lot of work to do there. They apparently hold a market there once a week, and they
Apparently.
might get when you call it market, it's like 4 stalls, or I mean, like it's really down in the dumps, and it's not good for the residents. I mean, the things that are happening there, so they're concerned, they're worried. There's a little bit of crime going on there, so. There's the Wil that doesn't move. There's Costco, looks like they're moving out of there as well. So it's really, it's a really important time to really start to get on top of these things and start to get, the Docklands thriving again.
Now, there's one big question that everybody has. You've probably had to face this one already. It's probably the toughest question. But what is the role for Ange Christou in the...
He wanted to be deputy Lord Mayor. I said, look, you're not up to that, Ange. And but he won't be my fashion. He dresses up like the Wiggles in one. He wears all these different colours. But I said, look, if you want to, I'm happy for you to drive me around. But even then, I'm a little bit concerned with him. I've sent him over. He's gone overseas for 4 weeks, so he can just leave me alone so I can concentrate on this campaign and not be a distraction for me. But he's always somewhere, Ange. He's probably listening while he's on the Greek island, somewhere probably Mykonos listening to this conversation, and he'll ring me up saying, why'd you say that about me? He's a very good man. I've been good mates for a long, long time. It's not often you can find a mate like that. I was 16, he was 17. We met at the Carlton Football Club in the under-19s, and just, I don't know what it was, it instantly became friends, and we've been like brothers all the way through. And so I'm very lucky to have him in my time when I played footy, in particular early on when I did struggle to really start playing regularly as a senior player, and he was always there, and we battled against each other one-on-one, and had some great memories with the great man.
Love it. Good luck for your Blues on the weekend,
Thank
and
you.
good luck with your campaigning for the City of Melbourne until October when the elections are on.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.